One of the most universally recognized American quarter horses is Skipper W. This sorrel stallion by Nick Shoemaker out of Hired Girl by Cowboy P12 was foaled in the spring of 1945 on the Alamosa, Colorado ranch of H.J. Hank Wiescamp. Wiescamp, an AQHA Hall of Fame inductee, began his storied horse breeding career in the 1920s by crossing thoroughbred stallions with steel dust mares to produce cavalry mounts and polo ponies. In the early 1940s, he decided to concentrate on the old Fred Peter McCue family of horses. Wiescamp thought they were a family you could line breed successfully in order to set type and uniformity. In 1947, Wiescamp had several up-and-coming young stallions that merited consideration as breeding animals. One was Skipper W, a promising but unproven 3-year-old. Wiescamp recalls, Skipper W had the shortest fox ears that you've ever seen, and he had a good long neck that just got better as he matured. He also had a tremendous hip, stifle, and hind leg. He was strong where my mares were weak. Skipper W grew into a well-proportioned stallion, standing about 15 hands and weighing 1,300 pounds. He was shown only 3 times at halter, standing grand at the National Western Stock Show in Denver, the Colorado State Fair in Pueblo, and the New Mexico State Fair in Albuquerque. When the stallion was a coming 2-year-old, Wiescamp turned him over to George Mueller to break. Mueller says, I think Skipper would have been a super performance horse, but Hank could make more money back there with them mares than he could with me spurring on him. That's the only thing I regretted, that I didn't get to sure enough hook up and do things on him. Among the stallion's best-known progeny were Skipper's King, Skip's Reward, Skipper's Lad, Skipperette, Skip-a-Doo, and Skipette. Hank notes that usually a stud becomes better known as a sire of sires or a sire of brood mares, but that Skipper W was both, saying, when I bred him to a mare, he consistently sired a foal that was better than both he and the mare. Skipper W died of a heart attack at age 18 in 1963. He was never heavily shown or promoted, he never stood to outside mares, and he was never put into mass production as a sire. Despite this, he's a household name within the quarter horse world. So much so that even though his name might only appear once, 6 or 8 generations back in a horse's pedigree, the owner of that horse proudly proclaims it to be Skipper W. bred. So how good was Skipper W? Just ask George Mueller, who says simply, he was a hell of a horse.
Unfortunately, the Wiescamp family couldn't be here with us tonight, but Grant Wiescamp asked us to read his remarks. Grant says this, on behalf of Hank and the Wiescamp family, we are very honored to receive this award. We would like to thank AQHA and the committees involved in inducting Skipper W into the Hall of Fame. We would also like to thank all the people who supported the Wiescamp bred horses over the years. My dad had a dream and spent a lifetime producing the Skipper W bloodline. Again, we would like to express our sincere thanks. Let's have a round of applause for Skipper W and the Wiescamp family.